You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
MAGA turning on the mediocre former journalist driving Trump's inane revelations, based on an article by Matthew Rosa. John Solomon is not a journalist problem, he is the delivery system, the real story. The source material is about John Solomon, a right-wing media figure whose unreliability is so established that even parts of the MAGA ecosystem are now warning readers to be cautious. But the larger point is not that conservatives are finally getting wise. The point is that Donald Trump is still elevating a man with a long record of laundering grievance narratives into the White House and onto the public stage, who has power. The institutional power sits with Trump and the White House. Solomon is not merely commenting from the sidelines. He is described as a short-term White House staffer, a special government employee, shaping Trump's rhetoric and helping him gather material about enemies and election delegitimization. That matters. The president does not get influenced by random noise. He chooses the noise that serves him. How misinformation becomes policy theater. Solomon's method, as described here, is simple. Float a sensational claim, feed it into Fox News and the right-wing ecosystem, and let the narrative harden before scrutiny catches up. That is not a reporting error. It is a political technique. The point is not accuracy. The point is to create a usable fog around Trump's agenda, so lies about Russia, Ukraine, 2020 Chinese interference, and the 2026 midterms can be treated as active disputes instead of settled frauds. The gatekeepers are complicit. There is a tempting lazy framing in stories like this. The unreliable commentator got over his skis, and now even his allies are rolling their eyes. That framing is too soft. The more important fact is that the people with actual leverage kept putting Solomon in position to matter. Trump used him. Devin Nunes ran interference for him. The right-wing media machine amplified him. The failure is not that one bad actor slipped through. It is that the system is built to reward exactly this kind of operator. Misdirection as governance. The source notes that Solomon has long been known outside the MAGA world for selling front-page revelations that collapse under scrutiny. That history is not a side note. It is the business model. Authoritarian politics depends on moving attention away from evidence and toward performance, away from institutions and toward tribal reassurance. Solomon's usefulness is that he can turn fantasies into headlines fast enough to matter politically, even when they later fall apart. The pattern. This is what normalized democratic decay looks like. A president surrounded by grievance merchants, a media ecosystem that profits from unstable claims, and institutional actors who confuse amplification with authority. The scandal is not that John Solomon is unreliable. The scandal is that unreliability has become a qualification for proximity to power. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article. With the automated voice of Lebritz, our thanks for listening.